People with pipes, they like to debate or talk about whether a pipe is art. What I've realized for me is that the whole conversation revolves around respect. Making pipes was an artistic protest against the status quo. I started blowing glass in 1997. I discovered glass basically on the fish lot. The whole reason I really got into it more than anything was for freedom, to be able to work for myself, ideally be creative and work with my hands. And I love smoking weed, so all these things kind of came together at the right time in my life. From there, it became survival mode, working long hours, failing and pushing yourself, learning how to be an entrepreneur and actually like sell your work. Just keep chasing the American dream. Around 2001, I chose the name Marble Slinger. I was a little bit paranoid about selling pipes on the internet. The obstacle that we knew we were confronting is basically the law. In 2003, there was Operation Pipe Dreams, which was like a federal operation to go after the largest bong and paraphernalia manufacturers in the country. Now, that trickled down and affected everyone, but what it really pointed out to me was that if I'm going to pursue the American dream and try to be an entrepreneur, if I get to a certain point in success, the federal government can shut my business down. That made me start to question, how much longer am I going to make pipes? That's actually why I started making my film, Degenerate Art. If I can make a piece of propaganda that counteracts the propaganda against marijuana culture, specifically what I'm doing, paraphernalia culture, that will help give me forward momentum to have a future for myself and all the other members of my culture. And I kind of saw that happen in other subcultures like graffiti, for instance, and skateboarding, and I saw the kind of films that came out about those subcultures. They didn't necessarily validate the culture, like I didn't need it validated to me, but they put the cultures in a context that made people take it more seriously and kind of look at it in a different way. It's interesting to ask yourself the question, where did this glass pipe scene come from? Why are there hundreds to thousands of people making ornamental, interesting, technical glass pipes, and there's all these collectors? What is the socio-political context that creates a scene like that? In a lot of ways, I saw making glass pipes as like sort of an arm of the legalization movement, a protest saying that this is a beautiful plant in a place where this plant has been demonized. Smoking marijuana isn't necessarily something we do as just like a drug to escape. It's something that's done in a ritual form where people get together and communicate, and part of that is a passing of this instrument. That instrument becomes a focal point amongst that group. It becomes like such an important utensil that people focus on, a microphone in a sense that gets passed around. I'm very much a part of that culture. And in my opinion, an artist's job is to reflect the culture they're a part of and reflect the times. And so that's what I do. Being creative in any medium can like cross over from one material to another material. You can choose sort of anything, and with enough diligence and work, you can actually like progress and get somewhere with that. I started a body of work doing graphic design image that I was sandblasting onto pipes. And I really liked the idea of appropriating images, sampling something, remixing it. When I designed the Morton Salt Girl holding the machine gun, it was 2007. And the housing market was crashing and everyone was talking about recession. And it seemed like a rainy day. Felt like by putting a machine gun in her hand, I was kind of liberating her from like the corporate packaging she was on. And from there, I started making a few t-shirts. And lo and behold, people really gravitated towards that image. I started to really have to meditate on like what that image means to me. The United States gun culture is very intrinsically woven in with American culture. Everything from Second Amendment rights to school shootings to the militia movement and the ownership of guns. And then people debate that quite often in this country. Guns are a big symbol of being American. It kind of opens a conversation about the United States and what goes on here socio and politically. If I tell someone that I make glass pipes who's very uninformed with this scene, they might not picture in their head the kind of work that me and my peers might make. For me to make this really beautiful pipe that someone's gonna spend a bunch of money on starts to normalize something, makes someone start to view something in a different way and open their mind up. Whether it's the big glass schools or the museums or all these places, they're all slowly falling to it. I'll tell you why they've embraced it, because they saw how much money we were making in the end. That's what it comes down to. It's difficult in the United States to be an independent business person. Beyond that, the idea of being like an independent craftsperson or tradesperson, a lot of that is dead and gone. It's machines and factories creating stuff, and there's not a lot of handmade goods. In the glass community, we're at kind of the end of an era. There's a struggle in preserving that, but it's beautiful that we've found a contingent of collectors that appreciate it. There's an activist side to making pipes. I want to subvert the art establishment. A lot of it is just about keeping it real and being authentic and staying true to yourself, and all of that is organic.